What up, Star Detective Precure fans? It is April. That means we are almost 1/5 way through of Star Detective Precure. So let's check in with where we are, what we know so far, and theories for where the show is going. Let's start with a pretty surface level summary, just broad strokes about overall what's happening, because there are plenty of episode by episode series going on from other CureTubers. So let's just get right into the story itself here. Star Detective Precure starts with Ana Akechi in Makoto Mirai Town, time traveling with Pochitan from her birthday on January 24th, 2027 to April 2nd, 1999, where she meets Mikuru Kobayashi, an aspiring detective in front of the Kyoto Detective Agency. Mikuru believes Ana is part of her test to become a star detective, and helps her get new shoes until Pochitan drags them to a wedding venue where they solve their first mystery and meet the first villain of the season, Niji from the Phantom Thieves Guild. In this encounter, they transform for the first time into Meitante Precures, which notably, Mikuru was previously aware of. Then we meet the fairy Jet and get some lore reveals, including Jet is from London and is 222 years old, and the only reason he is here in Makoto Mirai City is because the previous star detective left this location. We also learn that Mikuru's jewel cure watch was given to her by her grandmother, and in the second or third episode we are also told that the villains of the Phantom Thieves Guild are actually fairies, so we'll see how that comes into play sooner or later. For our second mystery, we are introduced to Kurusu Elisa and Hoa Kurea, and Asai Taira. Elisa is a writer whose pen was stolen as this episode's villain of the week. Kurea and Taira work at Patisserie Choo Choo. In episode 3, we are introduced to Agasane while we're trying to get some interior decorations for the agency. And from episode 3 onward, Luluka also makes guest appearances, basically shadowing the other Phantom Thieves. In episode 4, Goemon appears for the first time when we're trying to solve the mystery of a mangaka who accidentally swapped his bag with an artist at the train station. We do know that Ana knows this mangaka from the future, so there will definitely be reoccurring events of Ana recognizing something from the future and it may be having some significance. Also, we do get confirmation that Luluka is newer to the Phantom Thieves, as her assisting with this episode's mission was kind of called like training. So we have those little breadcrumbs getting sprinkled throughout. Also in this fight, the girls get to use Answer Attack and Mystique Reflection for the first time. Episode 5 is the setup of a squabble between Ana and Mikuru that leads to Niji getting away with a pair of Makoto jewels and Pochitan exhausting a lot of magic. Before the end of this episode, we get to see more of the school, meeting some of Mikuru's friends, and Kaneda Rei, who is the student council president at Makoto Mirai Academy, and we also briefly see the chairwoman of Makoto Mirai Academy, who seems to be related to Rei. And then, of course, episode 6 is the payoff and new attack called Flying Spectrum. The girls unlock this after making up, and Pochitan activates the Cure Mirror Loop. We also see a brief moment here of Cure Arcana Shadow literally so quickly stepping, it's like 2 frames that blink and you miss it. I missed it the first time. But she steps into redirect attack away from the fairies. And at the end, Uso Noir almost sends Niji to the trap room. What in the world is that? Hello? Also, apparently, for those of you taking notes, the Phantom Thieves are surprised, and it seems to be very valuable information to find out that Ana has time traveled. Then, we get to episode 7, which brings Ana to school, where Goemon sets up an escape room to collect data on Pochitan, but Loki gets nothing done, and it was really just there for fun. Episode 8 is the start of Pretty Holic and a bit more of lore through Jet's backstory, which we will talk to when we get to Jet's character moment, so we can kind of just skim over that for now. Then in episode 9, we get introduced to Shiraku Aire, and what's interesting to me was that this was truly like a Shiraku-focused episode, which makes me think that we'll see her a little more often than maybe some of the other Eclair candidates even, but we'll get to that when we get to that. I mean, it's also an introduction to Rie's interests. I also find it interesting that we got to see the chairwoman again very briefly. I mean, it makes sense. She works at the school, but I'm like, there's something cooking here. But we'll get to that when we get to all the Eclair theories, because there's a lot going on there. And episode 10 is a very sweet mother-daughter episode, in which we do get to see Kureya again at Patisserie Choo Choo. What's notable for the overall lore in this one was that we do get to see Mikuru notice that after the mystery, Anna misses her own mother a little and promises to make Anna's favorite hamburger. It isn't something like too deep, it'll definitely come up again. And that's about it. Next episode, Kirakana Shadow is making her, like, proper debut, which is very exciting. We'll probably get to see her transformation and bleed her one attack that's called, like, Star Meteor Storm or whatever. Hold on. I got this. Arcana Star Rain. Yeah, that's sick as It's time to talk about characters. So we're gonna start with basically who's already in the Kyoto Detective Agency in Makoto Mirai City. Overall, I feel like there isn't a ton that stands out for our protagonists just yet. A lot of the show is riding on the concept a little bit more than, like, obviously there have been emotional moments with the characters, but we're not getting a lot more than, yeah, Anna time travel, yeah, Mikuru is a normal girl, but also she is mysterious and a detective. That's kind of what's going on. Hold on. Let's break it down, one by one character by character, because that was the intention of this section. Anna is pretty easy because the full show is from her perspective. Her main motivation is to help people, and she's honest and pretty optimistic for the most part. Obviously, she has her fears about being 28 years in the past, but she's not really in a rush to get back, and she wants to help Mikuru and is invested in her role at the Kyoto Detective Agency. Mikuru is a little more mysterious, but we can piece together that she moved to Makoto Mirai City in order to become a detective. She does not mention any family members except for the grandmother that gave her the jewel cure watch. But we do see someone that could be her mother in a detective outfit in the intro. We do hear that a detective helped her when she was younger, and that is what motivates her to become a star detective. Also, her awareness of Precure is pretty interesting from, like, before the show even starts, so that does mean that, like, Precure are kind of like an establishment in this season, which doesn't happen every time. Like, it didn't happen last season, so we'll see. But I mean, like, it has happened before. I'm looking at Heartcatch so hard. I know there's gonna be a lot of Heartcatch, esque bits around. I mean, they've already done that since it's a duo and all that. So we love that. We love that here. Oh, but we still have someone else to talk about. Jet is a 222-year-old fairy from London who is just in town to shut down the Kyoto Detective Agency. But hey, look, there's new star detective Precure, so we don't have to do that now. So he's just hanging out, but we know a lot of things about him actually, because we got like probably over half of his backstory in just episode 8. So we know that he is an inventor and learned with other cat fairies at a school or apprenticeship in a London-shaped fairyland. We also know that his goggles hold a Makoto jewel from a teacher that taught him to make things cute, which inspires the girls to encourage Jet to open the in-universe Pretty Holic store. And that's why everyone, like, is basically doing, like, tail whip. I think that's why they do it in the outro, too. I'll pull up. They made GIFs. They made clips. And it's cute. I don't care for it. Two main things I want to point out while we're here, because I don't think I'm going to discuss, like, world yet, because I feel like we haven't quite gotten to the point where we can, like, map out the world, which, I mean, I don't know if we're going to get to that. I wonder if the fairyland is going to look like London. Obviously, people have already been speculating that we're probably going to London. Time to talk about the villains. Niji Diva. He is truly a phantom thief. Based on The Fiend with 20 Faces from the novels that Anna and Mikaru's last names also come from. Not a ton to say about it. He's kind of a classic dip idiot twink villain. His kind of like catchphrase or talking quirk is that he just like in English calls people baby, which I think is great. It's very camp. I think that's what a lot of villains get to do, is they're very camp. They like to play and have fun and be evil. Okay, that's literally all I have to say about him. I love that he's dramatic. Keep on shining, baby. Now, Agasane Diva. Oh my gosh, she's so Gyaru. She's giving Gyaru.
Oh my goodness, it's giving Gyaru.
The gal fans all cheered. Her catchphrase is also great. Like, they literally comment that it's out of fashion, and it's subbed as "this is so whack," which is something, like, I wish people would say in English more. As a direct translation, or as just, like, a choice of whoever was subtitling, did a perfect job. Notably, both Agasane and Niji prefer to cross-dress in their disguises. I hope this stays consistent and, like, is meaningful. Obviously, you can't do too much because I hate gay people at Toei. I hope they do drag or something when they get redeemed. And now it's Goemon time. Goemon. Oh my god. Diva! Unlike the rest of the Phantom Thieves, he does not transform, and more so relies on other gimmicks and good timing. So far, his episodes have mostly been treated as a nice break from the formula that Niji and Agasane have been presenting so far. That's great. I love Goemon. He also has a lot more of like a traditional Japanese aesthetic, which fits with his etymology, which is based on the like semi-legendary folklore of the Goemon of times past. I'll pop the picture that like everyone uses when they talk about him in 0.02 seconds. Okay, but that's it. Like, there's not a lot to say so far, but we do gotta talk about Kurokana Shadow. Ah, Diva! The girl of the century! Kurokana Shadow is a Precure and has a fairy friend named Shuzan. And she's winning the Don't Give a Fuck war. And she really likes ice cream. And what else? Okay. What we actually know that might be a little more important is that she is a newbie in the Phantom Thieves Guild. And she is kind of like not taking it seriously, but she's also kind of like a messenger for the Phantom Thieves. Like, she just kind of gets sent on side quests, which is great. And we know she doesn't want Pochitan to die, but like, we're still waiting on her motivations. We'll probably get that in the next couple episodes. And we do not know how she got here. I think she I hope she's from the past a little bit. I hope she is, but I wouldn't be too mad if she was from like an alternate future. The only thing that might be a little disappointing is if she is revealed to like just have been like a nothing burger girl, which is fine too, but like I might be a little sad because I love time travel. I love time travel shenanigans. That's the only reason I started making Precure videos, is because there was time travel shenanigans. Okay, yeah, and then oh shit. Uso Noir Diva? Can we call him a diva, guys? Is he really a diva? This guy, Uso Noir, has the Tome of Mirages. What I think is interesting is that the tome seems to be some sort of predetermination predicting the future, making me think the Phantom Thieves Guild aren't necessarily just trying to help themselves straight up, but actually trying to reach a specific future as described by the tome. Still could be an evil future that only benefits them. But this does add a layer to what really we're up against and what the goals of this season's villains, the Phantom Thieves Guild, really is. it is plausible to think that all of our villains are from different times or, like, different timelines, and like, there are some little hints there, but, like, I don't know. And also the trap room. I think the trap room is its own team member at this point, because, like, it has a presence. Like, you can feel it. It's haunting the narrative now. Okay, now we get to talk in a little more detail about our beloved Claire candidates. Ooh, this is my favorite part. Okay, real quick before we get into it, interesting things to note. All 4 of our girls have, like, an English Western equivalent. Kureya sounds like Claire or Clara. Elisa is a common nickname for Elizabeth. Rei sounds like a common nickname for, like, any name that starts with Rei. Rachel. And Shiraku. Well, Shiraku, I know what you're trying to do, buddy. Okay, we'll start with Shiraku first because her given name being shared with, like, a literal detective is actually kind of weird compared to Anna, Mikuru, and Luluka, because all 3 of them family names are actually phonetically more similar to the detective names. And Anna and Mikuru's are literally just the names of those 2 detectives from the books. This could be that since she's older, she'll be more often referred to with her family name instead, so they want to put the name that we'll hear less as the detective reference. We don't know if she's really clear yet. I'm not convinced. Other than that, we know that Shiraku is an actress who is winning the give a fuck war. She is social and very mentor-filled. I love her a lot. I do think that even if she is not Kira Claire, she will be making a comeback in a big way, and I am here for it. Next, we have Kaneda Rei, who we've only seen like 1.5 times. And literally all we know about her is that she's the student council president of the, like, middle school section. Was it Makoto Mirai Academy? Do I have that right? And also that she has some sort of family member that is a chairwoman of the school because she has basically the same hair and eye color. As for our episode 2 girlies, Elisa is a young mystery writer, and her pen was our victim of the week in episode 2. I mean, she does have a pretty good buy in the candidacy just because she is a mystery writer, so she would know detective-y stuff. But also, Hawa Korea, guys. She works at the bakery, the patisserie, shoo, and we see her twice already in 2 different episodes. She did help a little bit in solving this mystery based on episode... She did help a little bit in solving episode 10's mystery. A lot of people have been saying Kurea's appearance is more likely to transform into Kira Claire, or that, like, since Shiraku got an episode that was so heavily focused on her, like, that either of them could be more popular. But, you know, we'll get into... We still have one more section after this where I get to talk about Kira Claire's candidates. So we'll wait until we really get to the whole wants. As for everyone else, we have the other 2 interesting critters, Mikuru's friends, Rie and Yumi. Rie is in the drama club and gets a bit of feature in episode 9 because she's anxious about meeting Shiraku, who wouldn't be. And we haven't seen Yumi mentioned in an episode yet, but we know she's sporty. I think it's mostly because none of our cures are gonna be sporty this season, so they need a sporty character so they could do sporty episodes if they're feeling the need to sport it up. So to say, old sport. And then of course we have... Oh wait, it's literally everyone except for Asai Taira, which we basically talked about everything we know about him in episode 2's part of the summary. Oh, y'all can tell me in the comments. Is the official romanization of Erisa going to be with an R too? Because that's really interesting that Luluka got the L. So I wonder, does Erisa having an R in her romanization, if that's the official romanization, the one that's on the wiki. It's time to talk about the freaking Cure Eclair candidates. Who in the world is Cure Eclair? Who could it be? Could it be me? Could it be you? Probably not. Right now, I think the most obvious candidates are Shiraku and Kureya, because they're both a little older and have been the most focused on candidates. However, I do want to highlight some more far-fetched possibilities for Cure Eclair. First one is Niji Eclair theory, which is pretty straightforward from the name. Niji definitely looks like Cure Eclair and is chill at cross-dressing. And while the four-pointed star is a Phantom Thief thing, it's also kind of Eclair's symbol. So, like, they could have actually been intentional in the choice of the symbolism they're using here instead of just kind of going based on vibes. But we'll see. And also, I think one of the weirdest things for this is it is kind of weird for Niji in the group dynamic, because he's like a grown-ass man, and he's also like, I feel like he needs adult friends that aren't evil. Yeah, not too high hopes for this theory, but I do still like it. I do think there's something sparkly and fun in my mind there. I mean, it could be, hold on, let me talk about the other main theory before I go off on a tangent. Ahem. Now, my new theory, Grandma Eclair theory. I mean, it's kind of vague. You can kind of take it in any way you want. In the broadest sense, it just posits that Cure Eclair is in fact none of our candidates, but a relative or ancestor of all 4 or 5 of them. What makes me think this is the emblem of the school. It's also an orange diamond. How did that get there? Is it because of Cure Eclair? Is there a lineage of Cure Eclair? Is there a mythology about her that we just like don't know about? I think this one would be very intriguing because like having a character in the group that is also a time traveler of sorts, or like actually a star detective for realsies, or like an experienced time travel that can like give Anna hope. But also I don't know how that works, because if she can time travel, then how can Anna not get back? But we'll get there when we get there. But I mean, like, it would be nice to have someone that kind of knows what's going on, since we have a long time until the end of the season. And either Jet does not know a lot, or he's not telling us a lot, which is kind of mean, brother. We could get more questions answered that way. We could get a little bit more to relate to there for Anna. Does that mean Shushutan would also have to be a time fairy? I mean, they both have the same ears. Ish. But also, not too high hopes, because Shushutan is like a squirrel. Maybe like a tanuki. Maybe a red panda. They call it a tanuki on the wiki, though. Maybe she just, like, works for an organization. Maybe she's employed. Like, I think these are fun, but also kind of fishy. I think the most wonderful and beautiful version of Grandma Eclair theory is that in July, because we know it's going to be in the summer, in July, when the Nostradamus prophecy is occurring, something big is going to go down. And I think there was also some hints from release dates of items, like Eclair's Mirror Loop or Makoto Jewel or something, that Eclair was going to appear in July. So I think it would be really interesting if the result of whatever the Nostradamus prophecy is that a good handful of people get displaced from the time they were in before, because that would be sick. I would also be fine with Cure Eclair just like being British or French, you know, the thing her name comes from. And then, oh my gosh, can you believe it, guys? I think I was right for once. I think Tale of Tanpuri is speaking to me in my mind. Because Jet, my eyes lit up in episode 2 when Jet said he was 222 years old. And from London? Can we do the math on that really quick? Computer? 1999 minus 222 is 77. You don't need a computer for that. Do you know what else was 222 years ago? Do you know what else was going on in 1777? Where were you during the French Revolution, European boy? I know he's a cat, but he can still make Totanpuri real. I believe in you, Jet Senpai. You can carry Totanpuri on your back, even though there's like zero connection between anything else in his lore. Just the time. I know you can do it. The French Revolution is approaching. But we'll see you soon. Next video is either going to be a Pokemon video before like May, or it's going to be another Precure video in like mid-June, because I forgot I was doing stuff this summer. So I will see you guys either in like a month or in like 3 months. So have a wonderful time. I hope Star Detective Precure is all that you would hope for. I hope that all your dreams come true. I hope you have a wonderful... Why are there so many midterms? Why is it midterm season? Why can't it just be midterm week in the middle of the term? Luluka is going to be out maybe by the time you've seen this. Maybe. Tell me how you feel in the comments about Precure, or just about, I don't know. I'm probably gonna make a video about like a video game or something. Hopefully. Oh yeah, I wanted to make a Pokemon video about predicting the Pokemon Winds and Waves starters. So you can look out for that, or you can just look out for Precure. Tell me who you think Curie Claire is. Tell me your wildest Star Detective Precure theories going on right now. Who do you think that the detective before Jet and Mikuru and Anna showed up was? Who do you think, are we gonna meet them in the movie or in like the midpoint? Is it Curie Claire? That's also a very valid Curie Claire theory. I did a poll and a lot of people, most people thought, I mean it wasn't most people, it was like 30 to 40%. We're like, yeah, I'll believe it. Curie Claire just left actually. We just missed her. I mean, that would be cool too if she just like accidentally time traveled like 6 months. I guess it wouldn't be 6 months by the time July comes around because we're in April. Anything else? Have a wonderful day. Have a cup of ice cream today. Channel your inner Cure Arcana shadow. Love, heart, sparkles. See you next time. Smiley face, sparkle, sparkle. Oh, like, comment, subscribe. Are you waiting for the bloopers? I might put the bloopers after this. The trap room is haunting the narrative and is an important character. I got this. Oh my fucking god, I'm reading through the wiki. What? Sorry to get your hopes up there for a second, but like there is no smoking gun, so to say. Phantom Thieves Guild. Telling Americans to telling Americans to trying to tell Americans that this was an emotional moment. So imagine you couldn't have a hamburger that your mom made. This one's gonna be so goofy. I'm gonna have an awful time editing this. Sorry, me editing this later.